Hello, thank you for being here. Thank you for clicking on the link. If you've clicked on the link, there's something inside of you that wants more. And I want to share with you the three challenges that I see with people moving into their future self and with the intention to add as much value as I possibly can in the most short period of time. So stay with me. I'm going to do it a bit different and I'm going to share my screen with my iPad. Okay. All right, give me a second and we should be up and running any minute. All right, here we are. So, the biggest, oh, man. Okay, so here we are. So the goal here, right, is to get to future self, right? Okay, and the three challenges that I see are these. So the first challenge is you're not really sure who you are or what you want, right? Which then causes a lot of misalignment. So then you feel like you're in misalignment because you're not really sure who you are or what you want, which is causing you to feel misaligned because you don't know what decisions to make. You don't know where to go. You question yourself and you don't know where you're headed. So because there's no clear version of what it is that you want. So you're either making decisions and not getting to where you want to go, or you're just not making decisions at all. And then you've got uninspired, which causes you to be really un in oh whoopsie inspired. It causes you to feel really uninspired. It could speaking from experience, I felt really lazy because I every decision that I was making, I wasn't following through with. I felt like nothing was really working. I felt like everything was really, really hard. And sometimes I just felt like doing nothing because I didn't know what to do because it was so overwhelming, right? So it caused me to feel really uninspired. So on the other side of that, let's look at the things that we can do and the steps that we can take to get us to our future self. So they're generally the biggest challenges. So I've made it super simple here and I've just gone, what's the other side of that? So this side I've called awakening because it really is about waking up to self and becoming conscious of what we're doing, what we're saying, who we are, what we want, and where we're going in that. So, in the awakening stage, I find that there's three stages that are like probably the most important things to work on. The first is mind mastery. So, really working on the mindset because the mindset sets the tone for all of this, right? That's kind of where it starts. And then there's the second thing. I'm just looking at my notes so I don't miss anything. The second thing I've written down is limiting beliefs, right? So it's really important that we remove all the limiting beliefs that actually are preventing us from moving forward. And they're what I like to call the invisible ceilings. Okay. And then we've got really defining what we want. So really going through and saying to yourself, hey, if nothing was bad or wrong, or no one would give a shit what I was doing, what is it that I would want? If judgment wasn't even a thing, deep down core inside, what do I want? And we get really clear on that, right? And then I find that the awakening stage is you're awakened, okay? And then on the other side of misalignment is alignment, right? So, like I said, this doesn't need to be big and scary and hard. It can be really simple. Alignment. So, instead of feeling misaligned, we move into alignment. So, because we're fully aware of our mindset. We can control, we're aware that we can control all the things in our world, and we are the people that make those things happen. We have choices. And then we remove all the limiting beliefs that come with that. And then we get really clear on what it is that we want. We can then move into alignment, and we can start working with, the universe and manifestation and all the things. So I call this one manifestation activation. And then we can start working with the universe to actually start making things happen with us, because we're not doing this alone. We can ask for guidance, we can ask for help, but a lot of the times we forget. I know I forgot in the time where I was feeling really stuck and really unsure of what I was doing and where I was headed. And I knew I wanted to get to future self, but I didn't even think to ask for help when it came to, the universe and working with manifestation. Then it comes to with alignment, it's like abundant living, right? So, what are our expectations of the way things happen for us? And we start removing all the, because we've removed the limitations. So, we start putting our expectations in place. How do we want life to work for us? How do we expect life to work for us? And then we do an energetic reset, right? So an energetic reset is like my favorite thing to do. When I talk about energetic resetting, it's like clearing all the old clothes out of your closet that no longer serve your future self, that you just have not worn in like 6 to 12 months. So like remove it. It's an energetic thing, right? It's an energetic removal when you're removing clothes, when you're removing clutter from your home. It might be your office that's really cluttered, needs some removing of some things that needs realigning. It could be in your home, it could be in your closet, like I said, it could be people that you're surrounding yourself with. It could be so many things, but the goal is to align energetically with, because once you do all of these things, everything shifts, right? And you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it inside and go, wow, that person no longer belongs in my life, or that person isn't supporting my future self. That's not going to support me to get to my future self. Or this piece of clothing isn't my future self. That's not where I want to head. That's not the person that I am. And then we move into inspired action. Because the thing here is, and I think this is very much forgotten in the spiritual world, is like it we are the creators here, that's here, awakening. And then we can also work with the universe, but it's really about like, what action are we taking? So what part are we playing in this? Because we need to play a part in it, because that's all part of energy as well, is like movement and moving towards the thing. And when we're aware of what it is that we want, and we can work with expectations and how we expect life to go for us, we can start taking action towards the things and the life that we want to live, right? So that brings me to life by design. And this one for me is really about, creating the visuals in your life, creating the vision board, and being able to look at that every day, creating the audios and listening to your voice on repeat, changing your mindset, and really going through, asking yourself the really deep, important questions of that are going to shift your reality completely, and journaling on them, and making mind movies that you're watching every day. So everything is designed to actually support the life that you want to be living. And then the second part of the inspired action is planning your future. So there's probably a bunch of challenges that you're going through, or issues that you have at the moment. And I'm going to say this. I know that there's one thing that would either remove all of the other things or make them easier. And that's what I would suggest to work on, is doing a plan towards that one thing, right? So that's the second thing. That's the second stage in inspired action. And then there's stepping into future self. And this is really taking that leap, taking that quantum leap, and moving into future self so much quicker. It doesn't need to take a year. It doesn't need to take 6 months. It can be quick. You can move, you can shift and rearrange. And that's exactly how you do it. So if you've got this far, you're in one of four places, right? So I see this a lot, and you're either one of four places. So you're either in a spot, you've listened to the video and you're like, that's me, but I'm not really, it's not really that important, or it's not a big enough problem for me to do anything about right now. All right. And that's fine. That's a good stage to be in. So, not important, we'll put there. So that could be stage one, not important. Or you're in the second stage where, you've listened to the video and you're like, I'm frustrated. I'm at that point where I'm like, I'm just so frustrated with how my life is at the moment. And I'm feeling frustrated and it's really annoying and I don't know what to do about it. So you might be in the frustrated stage, right? And then there's the stuck phase where, like, you might have been frustrated, but you've moved and you've done some things and now you're just stuck. And now you're like, okay, I feel like nothing's working. It's not flowing. I don't know what to do next. Or you're in the stage four, which is like, I've tried everything. I need help and I want this now. I'll do anything to get to my future self. You're in the do anything stage. Okay. So once you've identified what stage you're in, if you're in any of these three stages, 1, 2, 3, or 4, I would suggest that you go down below, just scroll slightly, and you fill this form out and let's have a chat, because the chances are, because all of this stuff that we've just been through, and if you're in any of those three stages, you want to move. And if you are a cool person and if you're coachable, then I want to hear from you. I want you to fill out that form because I know that I can help you. And let's have a chat. Let's see if we're the right fit. And we might not be. And that's okay too. And we can just remain friends, right? Does that sound cool? Because of the nature of the course, I know that you want a guarantee, right? And the guarantee that I can give you is you can do that yourself. You can go back through that video and you can do all the steps quite easily, right? But my guarantee to you is we can get there a hell of a lot faster. It can be so much more fun and less painful if we do it together. So if that's you, if you're feeling like this is it, this is what you want to do, fill out the form below and let's have a chat. See you guys.